A very fragile 14-day-long tenuous truce remains in place between Washington and Tehran. The fate of Iran's nuclear program hangs in the balance. This is the United States is now seeking to remove Iran's 60% enriched uranium stockpile, while Tehran has insisted that it has a right to continue with its enrichment program. Iran's nuclear agency chief has said that protecting Tehran's right to enrich uranium is necessary for any ceasefire talks with the United States of America. Iran's nuclear agency's chief referred to the US's refusal to acknowledge enrichment as one part of Iran's 10-point plan for a permanent ceasefire. The statement has come as the United States and Iran are due to meet in Islamabad, the capital of Pakistan, for talks over this weekend. The White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said that the plan that was put forth by Iran as the basis for a ceasefire differs from the framework that is acceptable to the United States.
The president's red lines, namely the end of Iranian enrichment in Iran, have not changed. And the idea that President Trump would ever accept an Iranian wish list as a deal is completely absurd. The president will only make a deal that serves in the best interests of the United States of America.
Now, the American President Donald Trump has vowed to stop Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon. On Wednesday, he wrote on social media that the United States will work with Iran to dig up the nuclear dust, as he describes it, saying that it is still buried because of American bombings on the Iranian nuclear sites last year. Now, Trump is apparently referring to the aftermath of last year's American attacks using bunker buster bombs on Iran's nuclear facilities. The United Nations nuclear watchdog, the International Atomic Energy Agency, has estimated in a February report that Iran had about 460 kilograms of highly enriched uranium that was enriched up to 60% purity, still way less than the 90% purity uranium that is needed for making a nuclear weapon. Now, as the fragile ceasefire remains in place, Tehran has said that the right to enrich uranium is simply non-negotiable and it is a part of the sovereign right of the Iranian nation. The Iranian Parliament Speaker Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf has said that the sixth clause of Iran's 10-point proposal recognized Iran's right to uranium enrichment. Ghalibaf further added that this amounts to a violation of truce. Meanwhile, in an address to the nation on Wednesday night, the Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu said that Tehran's enriched uranium will be removed either by agreement or by force, as has been demonstrated in the 5+ weeks of war so far. And under the earlier agreements, Iran had limited uranium enrichment to about 3.6% purity, a level suitable for civilian energy, but far below the weapons grade 90% purity that is needed for making a nuclear weapon. However, according to the United Nations nuclear watchdog chief Rafael Grossi, Iran has nearly 460 kilograms of enriched uranium. He had said most of it was stored in a tunnel complex at Isfahan and is apparently probably still there. So Iran has said that the right to enrich uranium is a part of its sovereign right to have a nuclear program. The United States says that this is a red line and did not agree to it before agreeing to a ceasefire. Now, WION spoke with experts such as Dr. Tara Kartha from New Delhi and Alex Strayman, who joined us from Jerusalem, listening to what they have to say as to what happens to Iran's existing enriched uranium stockpiles. Listen.
See, let's make it one thing clear. No one wants Iran to go nuclear. And that really includes all of us, right? So that is the basic point. But having undergone all this and having been repeatedly betrayed by the United States, which state in its right mind will want to give up its nuclear, whatever enrichment it has? Now, this 60%, for it to go up to 90% requires much less time. That is a fact. In terms of separative work units, you call that the number of centrifuges being used. But the thing is, they need to get those centrifuges running. And the IAEA report of May 2025 says all of them were destroyed in June. Significant damage. So centrifuges are extremely delicate. They're not instruments you can just, start off and say, okay, here we go. It's been very badly destroyed. However, will it retain the capability down the line? Who knows? I don't know. So That opening is there much years down the line. But meanwhile, I think that offer which they made of blending existing enriched uranium into regular fuel for peaceful nuclear energy, at least that should be explored.
I think the understanding is that the enriched 60% uranium has not been destroyed, and Israel and the United States were careful not to destroy it in order to create some kind of radioactive event inside of Iran. They want to make sure that that very sensitive material is disposed of or moved in the safest way possible. And they also do not want to give this regime the opportunity to go in, find that enriched uranium, and to restart their nuclear program. And we already saw after the 12-day war in last June that Iran did take steps to try to restart their nuclear program. So meanwhile, the United States and Israel feel that they are working, negotiating with a malign actor. They are waiting to see whether Iran will recognize that their pursuit of nuclear weapons, their building of ballistic missiles, and their funding of terror proxies all across the region have left Israel and the United States with no choice but to attack, and they want to see that Iran is going to give up on all three of those agendas in order for them to release sanctions and to believe that they have a peaceful neighbor in the Middle East.
Now, for many Israelis who were apparently stranded in the war are now taking or breathing a sigh of relief after Washington entered into a fragile 2-week-long ceasefire. Many have expressed hope, and some are skeptical as to what could happen next. Listen in to what the Israelis are in fact saying about this ceasefire.
That we can get back to normal as much as possible. We hope it will continue as well. We bought tickets. We didn't know if the flight will get out, but we're happy it happened. The previous tickets were cancelled, and now we hope we'll get it out.
Mixed feelings, very, very excited, really hoping, holding our fingers that this will work and we'll get out, because we've tried so many times during the war to get out and it was cancelled and cancelled and cancelled. So we're hopeful, excited, and really looking forward to sleep a whole night. It sounds like an adventure, but it's really terrible and it's starting to take its toll.
A lot is unclear, the feeling is sour, but as my predecessor said, we are looking forward positively and hope that good things will come out of it.